You didn't find this video. This video found you, and that's not something you should ignore. Because out of every distraction, every post, every clip you could have scrolled past, your awareness locked onto this one. That's not random. That's not chance. That's the invisible hand of alignment guiding you to a moment you didn't even know you were looking for. Some people call it fate. Others call it divine timing. But whatever name you give it, the truth is the same. This moment was written long before you pressed play. Think about it. Millions of possibilities, yet here you are. The exact second your mind was open enough to hear a message. The exact second your heart was soft enough to receive it. This isn't just another voice in the noise. This is the intersection of where you are and where you were always meant to be. And right now, the space between those two is paper. Thin enough for you to step through. If you're willing, you've felt this before, haven't you? That strange pull toward something you can't explain. A thought that lingers, a song that plays at the perfect moment. A conversation you overhear that answers the exact question you didn't dare ask out loud. It feels like coincidence, but it's not. It's the universe arranging threads, weaving patterns you can only see. Right now, you're standing inside one of those patterns. A meeting point between your silent longing and the signal you've been unknowingly sending out. Maybe you've been restless lately. Maybe you've been asking for a sign. Or maybe you've just felt that quiet ache, that whisper that says there's more than this. And here's the truth most people miss. The universe doesn't always send lightning bolts or earthquakes. It sends whispers, small openings, moments that look ordinary but carry an extraordinary weight. This, right now, is one of those moments. The only question is, will you step into it, or let it? Every once in a while, life places a doorway in front of you. Not the kind you can see with your eyes, but the kind you feel in your chest. It doesn't announce itself with flashing lights or warning signs. It stands there quietly, waiting. Most people walk past it, not because they don't want change, but because they've been taught to ignore anything that doesn't look certain. They wait for 100% clarity. They wait for proof that the next step will be safe. And in the waiting, the doorway closes. Here's what you need to know. Certainty is not the entry price. Readiness is not a feeling you stumble upon. It's a decision. The ones who change their lives step through before the mind has every answer. They move at 70% certainty. They act while their hands are still shaking, because they understand something most never will. Momentum speaks a language the universe answers instantly. Right now, you are standing in front of such a doorway, and every second you hesitate, the pull of your old reality gets stronger. The question is, which direction will you move? Step toward the one that wears your tone, speaks with your reasoning, and pretends to be protecting you. It says, not yet. It says, think it through. It says, wait for the right time. It sounds logical. It sounds careful. But underneath, it's fear. Fear dressed in the clothing of wisdom. That voice was built years ago, pieced together from old rejections, past failures, and the opinions of people who couldn't see your vision. Every time you were told to be realistic. Every time your excitement was met with silence or laughter, brick by brick, it built a wall. And now it calls that wall safety. But here's the truth. That voice isn't guidance. It's a guard. and it's guarding a prison you've outgrown. You've already proved you can step past it. You did it the moment you stopped scrolling and started listening. That's not small. That's proof you can override hesitation. The only question is, will you keep listening to the warden or the whisper that led you here? Moments like this, they don't stay open forever. The signal is loud right now, louder than the static of your habits, louder than the noise of your doubts. But if you wait, the volume fades. The mind slips back into its familiar loops. The old gravity pulls you home to the same patterns you swore you'd break. This is not about rushing. It's about recognizing a living window, a rare alignment between your readiness and the opportunity in front of you. You can feel it, can't you? That current under your ribs, that shift in your breathing, that sense that something is asking you to move. Every hour you act, the field reorganizes around your decision. Every hour you delay, the old pattern digs in deeper. One step forward and you signal the universe, I'm available. One pause too long, and the signal fades into the noise. The size of the step doesn't matter. The fact that you take it does, because movement is the proof of desire, and the universe does not respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you show you're ready for. Right now, you are showing it everything. Picture this. Your life branching into two paths. One keeps everything the same thoughts, the same patterns, the same quiet ache for something more. The other, it begins the moment you take a step you've never taken before. It's not about perfection. It's about direction. You can't walk both. Choosing one means closing the other, and the choice is made now, not later. Not when every question has an answer. Not when the fear disappears. The future version of you is already watching. In one timeline, they look back with gratitude for the courage. In the other, they carry the weight of wondering what might have happened if you'd moved when the door was open. Regret doesn't arrive all at once. It builds quietly from each hesitation. From each moment, you let the voice of safety win. But the opposite is also true. Courage compounds. One small action today can set an entirely new life in motion. The headlights won't light the whole road. They only show you enough for the next few steps. And that is all you need. Think about it. Out of every second of your life, why this one? Why now? Why these words in this exact order? Arriving at the exact time your mind was open enough to hear them. That's not luck. That's not a glitch in the feed. That's alignment. The meeting point between your silent questions and an answer that's been circling you for months, maybe years. It doesn't matter if you believe in signs or destiny. What matters is that you feel the truth in this moment. You know it's different. You can feel the weight behind it. It's as if something is leaning in close, saying, "This is for you." The universe rarely sends the answer in a way that looks dramatic. It sends it in a way you'll actually notice, a way that will slip past your walls. Sometimes, it looks like a stranger's words. Sometimes, a random video. But it is never random. And here's the key. When the door appears, it will not stay open forever. Step through now, and the path begins to rearrange around your choice. Wait, and it folds back into the noise, waiting for another cycle, another alignment, another version of you. But right now, the version you're meant to become is already within reach. Fear will try one last time to hold you. It won't roar. It will whisper. It will sound like thinking it through. But you know better now. You've seen the pattern. How many times it's convinced you to wait. how many times you've mistaken hesitation for wisdom, and how that wait has cost you more than any risk ever could. Fear wears many masks. It hides behind logic. It hides behind the promise of better timing. But the truth is simple. There is no better time than the one that found you. Right now, momentum is on your side. Right now, the current is flowing toward change, and all it takes is a single step to tell the universe you're ready to meet it halfway. The move doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be yours. Because once you step, the path ahead will begin to reveal itself, and the life you've been imagining will stop feeling like a dream and start feeling like the only thing that ever made sense. Every story turns on a single decision. One moment when the main character chooses the harder path, and everything changes. This is your moment. Two futures are waiting. One will keep you safe, comfortable, predictable. The other will demand more of you than you think you have, but it will give you more than you've ever imagined. You can feel it in your chest. That's not a trick of emotion. That's the signal. And signals like this, they don't keep ringing forever. If you move now, you step into the slipstream, where new people, ideas, and opportunities collide with your path. If you wait, you'll wake up weeks, months, years from now, wondering if this was the moment you let your life drift past you. The universe is not asking you for perfection. It's not asking you for guarantees. It's asking you for a yes that is real enough to move your feet. Even if your hands are shaking, so decide, not with words, not with promises, with movement. Because the next chapter of your life isn't written in your intentions. It's written in your steps. The air feels different here. Charged, alive, waiting. You felt moments like this before, but you didn't always step. This time, you will. Because now you understand. Life isn't built by waiting for clarity. It's built by moving while the road is still hidden in shadow. By trusting that the next stone will appear only after your foot leaves the ground. The future you've been craving isn't somewhere far away. It's leaning toward you right now, hand outstretched, waiting for you to close the gap. It doesn't care if you're scared. It doesn't care if you feel unprepared. It cares only that you show up. This is the moment that will echo through your choices, through your relationships, through the version of you that's about to wake up and realize they were never trapped. They were just standing still. So step before the window closes, step before the voice of fear finds its footing, step before you convince yourself that later is safer, because later is a myth, and now is the only bridge you'll ever need to cross. And somewhere, deep inside, you already know why. It wasn't the algorithm. It wasn't luck. It was alignment, a precise intersection between who you are and who you're about to become. Long after you close this screen, these words will linger. They'll surface when you wake up tomorrow. They'll echo in quiet moments, not to haunt you, but to remind you. Remind you that you stood at a crossroads, that you felt the pull, that you knew this was not just another piece of content, but a call. And the call is still ringing. It will keep ringing until you answer with movement. So when you think back to this moment, days from now, years from now, the step that told the universe, I'm ready. Because once you decide, life stops being something that happens to you and becomes something you're creating. One choice at a time. When you step, something happens. It's not always loud, it's not always dramatic, but it's real. The air feels lighter. Colors seem sharper. The noise in your mind softens, just enough for you to hear the quiet hum of possibility. You realize the world was never holding you back. It was only waiting for you to say yes. And when you do, you begin to notice the shift. New people crossing your path, opportunities where there used to be walls, moments of perfect timing. It's alignment. It's the ripple effect of one decision made in truth. A decision that told the universe, I'm ready for the life that's been calling me. So remember this feeling, hold it close, because the road ahead will have turns and shadows. And when it does, you'll remember the day you stopped scrolling, the day you listened, the day you moved.